Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I actually said it good this time. You know, alliteration sometimes is hard. Anyway, I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, also known as Damaris Dash Bit Weird.
And we're glad that you're here today. We'd like to say a big hello to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a chance. We hope you enjoy our podcast, and we'll come back and spend time with us each week. And a big welcome back to all of our returning viewers. We love you, and we appreciate you and your continued support and conversations with us and interacting with us and just being our community. We love you. Love. True love. We would like to say hello to Debbie Lynn, who is Tex-Mex Cast On Ravelry. She's actually from nearby to us. She lives in Coleman, Texas, which is about an hour-ish from where we live. And she's new to Ravelry and fairly new to knitting, if I remember correctly. So, hello. Thanks for introducing yourself in our group. If you're not a member of our Ravelry group, come join us. We'd be glad to have you. And if you introduce yourself in the introduction thread, we will give you a shout out on the next episode. So, with that, I think we're ready to get started. Make sure and stay tuned at the end of the episode when we announce our new knit along for May. And we have a couple other announcements, so stay tuned after what we're reading and watching for announcements. And let's get started.
We are going to talk about what is on our needles.
What's on your needles, Mare? Go, go, Power Rangers. Oh,
What?
no. Didn't they used to do that?
I don't know.
Pink Ranger. I don't know. I used to babysit kids who watched it. This is... Okay, so this is the chevron pattern on the sleeve, and then there's a set of three cables on this side, and a set of 3 cables on this side, and then it's just... I'm trying to go underneath. Go, hold it up. Wait. Where? There. This is just ribbing. Like a 6x2 ribbing. There. So what pattern is this?
It's Dr. Watson's Cabled Crew Neck.
Which is actually more like a recipe than a pattern. Mm-hmm. And what are you knitting this on?
Size 3s and size 4s.
US 3s and 4s. Yes. Yeah. And what yarn are you using?
Broco Vintage in the
Oats
colorway.
That's actually pretty true to color right there. It's maybe a little bit darker. And this is actually even longer than what she's showing you because you do 2 inches of the cuff and it's folded under to be stitched. So I think she had 1 repeat of the chevron repeat done last week's show. So you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're on your 6th repeat since then. That's awesome. High five.
Okay, my needles are poking into my side.
Okay. And then what I have on my needles is a lot of stuff. I feel like, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm overwhelmed, but 2 of the projects hopefully are going to be done today. So, let's start with this one. Okay, this is my baby blanket design. That's going to make us look pink again every time I hold up the colors. Okay, so...
See, there it goes. It just can't handle all the colors.
All the colors. So, I finished all 32 of the... They're actually rectangles. They're not really squares. They're rectangles. Finished all 32, and I have done the border on 3 sides. So, here is what the border looks like. It's just a couple of ridges of garter, and then I had this, when we were cleaning through our stash, I had this rainbow colored yarn. It's like blues and greens and yellows and pinks with a white. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of pretty. It'll tie it together and I can use it up. So I have one more side to put the border on. And I'm done. Oh my gosh, I'm done. It still doesn't have a name. It needs a name, y'all. Help me.
Unnamed.
It's a pavilion stitch is what the stitch pattern is. I'm trying to see how I can show y'all this the best. Oh, it's big. It's a baby blanket, but it's still big. There. So each of the rectangles have that pattern. So if you have an idea, help me.
This is my pattern.
And that's done on US 5s, 3.75 millimeters in like all this leftover yarn. So go to the project page if you want to see it. And help me name it. It needs a name. That's really loud.
Sorry. It's a piece of paper.
And so I'm hoping to finish the last side today, the border on the last side, and get it blocked because it needs to be blocked really bad. Next. These are my There and Back Again socks by, the patterns by Dawn Hansen. You guys, I'm almost done with these. I have 1.5 more rows of stockinette and the ribbing, and I'm done! Remind me never to do color work again. It has been difficult for me.
It's been a long road.
Getting from there to here. There and back again. They're gorgeous.
time.
They're gorgeous. I love the pattern. And that's actually pretty true color right there. It's Knit Picks Comfy Fingering Weight in Bison and Peony. And these are on US 1.5s, 2.5 millimeters. And I love the pattern. I really do. Color work is just not my cup of tea. So, I'm hoping to finish these tonight as well, because there's lots of TV on tonight. And then the other thing that's on my needles right now is, I showed y'all last week a completed hat that I had done, the Graham hat by Jennifer Adams, and it's for a friend of ours from our small group named Joel, and he actually wants 3 hats. So that was the first one. Here's the second one. I just cast it on last night. Ah, my yarn. And this is in, I love this wool in the camo style. That's pretty, that's a little bit washed out, but he likes kind of earthy colors, and so he liked this when I bought it. So this is hat number 2 for Joel. It's done on US 6s, 4.0 millimeters, and US 8s, 5.0 millimeters. And this is the one where you knit it inside out. So when you get done, you flip it. But I just cast it on last night and am working on the ribbing. So that's everything that's on my needles right now. Hopefully 2 of those will be off my needles tonight or tomorrow at the latest. And then I can work on Joel's hats and stuff. Okay, that's what's on our needles. On to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about our finished projects.
What'd you finish, babe?
This isn't really knitting, but...
It's yarn fiber related. Oops. Hope that was not really loud for y'all. Sorry. We have a microphone right here.
I keep doing that. I'm sorry.
You see it? Because our camera the microphone didn't pick up good enough. So we talked about these last week. She was working on them, waiting for our new needles to come in. These are my headphones, and she did like a friendship bracelet style knot on them. What's the yarn?
Mandaya Volcano in the multicolor.
In fact, this is the same yarn that is the border on my baby blanket that I'm finishing right now. So, thank you, baby. It keeps them from tangling so badly. So, it's really nice. Both pairs of my headphones are done like that. Okay, I have some finished projects this week. And actually, I'm going to do a third one of these. The hubs got me more yarn today, actually. He just called me a while ago. So these are from the pattern All Washed Up by Jill Arnouche, maybe? It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And they're washcloths. And they're reversible. And I did this on US 6s, 4.0 millimeters in, I Love This Cotton in the pale denim colorway. And it was very easy pattern and very fast, very easy to memorize. It's only a 5-row repeat. And I actually have done 2 of them. And I need to do one more to go with gifts for an upcoming holiday, that if you would receive a gift from us for a certain upcoming holiday, pretend like you just didn't see that in your watching. You just didn't see that. So the hubs just picked up another skein of this for me because I had used part of the other skein for another project, and so I didn't have enough to do another one. But those were very fast and easy, and did those while we were watching something on TV the other night. Okay, and I also finished, I'm trying to put them on so I can show you, a pair of fingerless gloves. And that color is not very true. That's more true. It's a, it's Red Heart Shimmer in the chocolate colorway, and it's got kind of a bronze sparkle through it, but not overwhelming sparkle. This pattern is one I've done before called Malabrigo Hand Thingies by Anne Sahakian, maybe? It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I did change it, though, because when I knit it last time, it was too tight. So I upped the needles to a US 8, which is a 5.0 millimeter, and I changed the cast on to 36 stitches instead of what it would call for. I can't remember what it called for, maybe 32. But it's got just a little slip stitch detail every, like, 4 stitches or so. Or more than that. No, every, like, 12 stitches or so. Anyway, and these are for Joel's wife, Lynn. And so she wanted a brown pair of fingerless mitts and a black pair. So here's the brown pair, and I've got to do the black pair still. And these were a pretty fast knit as well. So, and they've got just a rib, kind of a garter ridges for the bottom, and then the thumb. And I finished those this week, and so I've got to do the black ones still, but we'll get to that maybe this next week, since I'm getting so many things off the needles. And that's what I finished this week. So I think we're ready to go to the next segment. And now, time for my favorite part of our show. Yummies! And these are just like our current favorite things, or good things that happened this week, or things we love. Yeah. So, first up, the Hallmark Hall of Fame movie on Sunday night. Did y'all watch it? I love Hallmark movies. I really, really love Hallmark Hall of Fame movies because they are so much better done than just the traditional Hallmark Channel movies. But this one this time was called Remember Sunday, and it had one of my favorite actresses, Alexis Bledel, from Gilmore Girls in it. And Gilmore Girls is like my top favorite show ever. And it was about a man who had an aneurysm. I was trying to think of the right word. An aneurysm in his brain, and when he went to sleep at night, he would lose all of his short-term memory. So he only remembered what happened prior to the aneurysm. And so it was about him trying to live a normal life and falling in love and everything while not being able to retain his day-to-day memories. So it was really good. I enjoyed it, cried. Does that surprise me? No, I always cry. What else did we watch this week?
Les Miserables.
Yes. So well done. It did not even seem like 2.5 hours long. It went by so fast. So this is the newer one that came out last year with Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway and Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
And the Hubs actually watched it with us.
And I am Javert. Do not forget my name.
Did you see what he posted last night?
Yes.
He posted something about, I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but something about after watching Les Miserables with us, he pondered what a Wolverine X-Men musical movie would be like. So that was kind of funny. But we really enjoyed it, and I cried a lot. Sobbing, gave me a headache crying.
And I've been singing it.
Yes.
Since Sunday.
What else did we watch this week?
We watched the very first episodes of Doctor Who.
Classic Who.
Classic Who. Season 1. Classic Who has seasons. New Who has series.
She's trying to wind her yarn into a ball. Because it kind of exploded at the end here. We watched the first Doctor. We watched all 4 episodes that were in the arc of An Unearthly Child.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say corny sci-fi effects, special effects?
Well, there weren't any special effects, just...
It was kind of corny. But apparently that's what it was supposed to be. After talking to some people about it on the podcast, not on the podcast, on the VKN the other day.
You talked about it?
Yes. Oh, that was yesterday when you weren't in here. Yes. We talked about it without you.
You don't talk about Doctor Who without me.
I'm sorry. You were writing a book report or something. Equally fun. What else? Okay. Nerd Girl Knits is a podcast that we've mentioned before on here. But it's a mother-daughter podcast. And their latest episode totally cracked us up because they called us their doppelgangers. Because it's a mother and daughter, but they're a little bit older than us. The daughter is in college. So they're older than us, but they called us their doppelgangers. And we like a lot of the same things and everything, so it totally cracked us up. So, thank you, Chris and Katie. Love.
I would make a heart, but I'm holding a ball of yarn.
Yes. We love you. It was so funny, though. It cracked us up. I was, hysterical laughing and making Damaris watch, and then played it again. It was just cracking up laughing. It was so funny. So. Okay, we got in. Remember we told you we bought interchangeable needles? We got them in. So these are the Knit Picks Options Interchangeable Nickel-Plated Set, which is actually what Damaris is using right now. And I also tried them when I knit something the other day. I don't remember what. And really like them. We did buy an extra set of cables. I think we bought the 60-inch cables because it came with, did it come with 24 and 30 something, I think, or whatever. So, we're loving them. Thank you for the suggestions. They're awesome. And what else did we get in the mail? Okay, I will put a spoiler warning here. If you are a person who might be getting a gift from us in an upcoming holiday, you probably need to plug your ears and close your eyes and go away for a few minutes, because I'm going to talk about stuff that partly we're using for that holiday. Okay, are you gone? Are you gone? Maybe? Now, not all this stuff is for the gifts, because I bought stuff for us, too. So, this is all stuff, oops, I don't want to show that, I want to show this, from Wolf Farms. www.wolffarms.net. Love them. If you don't watch their podcast, you need to watch it. It is hysterical. So funny. So, they sent us a podcast button. So there's another one for our collection. And we have to figure out something to put all our buttons on. Dawn, from the Wolf Farms podcast, has this adorable monster that she knit that she puts all her buttons on. So I'm thinking maybe we may need to knit a monster for our buttons. And then I ordered this adorable keychain sock blocker. And it came with a pattern to make socks for this. And it's adorable. I love it. And it smells good from being in the package with the other stuff.
Okay.
And we had such a sweet note from Dawn. And she sent something for Damaris. And what did she send you?
Somewhere over here.
There it is.
I knocked it over.
I'm trying to turn it. Blueberry lip balm. And she sent her the blueberry because it is like the blue box. TARDIS. She also sent us lollipops. We ate them instantly.
It made
Sorry.
my lips blue.
Yes, Damaris's was blue. And then I got to try, they had a coupon code to if you placed a $10 order, you could get their brand new raspberry lip balm for free. And it's amazing. Love it. So good, so good, so good, so good. And then we bought a bag of their soaps.
We bought a bag.
And then we had a smelling party and smelled all the scents.
What?
A smelling party. So there's all kinds of them. I love the fresh cut roses. That one's really good. The cherry almond. Like that one. That's kind of like our last name. Oops, I just dropped soap. We're the almonds. The nuts without the D. Is that funny? There's all different kinds of scents in here. Torrential rain, cinnamon spice, apple crisp, cucumber melon, love bites, which is their twilight one. That makes me laugh. I'm trying to pick up this soap with my toes. Got it. So we got all those, and then we bought a 4-pack of lotion bottles of lotion. Try to see if I can hold them up all at once, but I don't know if that's going to work. So we got cucumber melon, torrential rain, fresh cut roses, and vanilla cream. And they all smell wonderful. So thank you so much, Dawn, for sending us stuff. And she even sent me a coupon. So I'm going to have to go buy more stuff. Because I already started using, she sent me a sample of one of their soaps as well that I started using immediately, and it's so good. It was bubblegum flavored. It smells good. But it's been so good. I've got really, really sensitive skin, and it's been really gentle on my skin, so. And then we got other stuff in the mail that same day, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I got a book in, but I'll show you that when I start reading it. We got the, I think most of y'all know that I use a wheelchair. I have to be in a wheelchair if I'm out and about for more than just a few feet. I have a cane that I use if it's a short distance. But there's a shop on Etsy that does floral hubcap things. And so I got pink daisies for my wheelchair. They're adorable. So we'll have to put those on. That was a lot of yummies. Yummy. All right. The next segment is going to be long. I'm so sorry, but there's so much to talk about. So here we go. And make sure, if you're not interested in, I know some of you probably aren't interested in watching what we watch and read and stuff, but make sure and stay tuned afterwards if you need to fast forward or whatever, because we will announce the new knit along and we have some other announcements too. So on to the next segment.
Now we are talking about what books we're reading and what TV we're watching.
What are we still reading?
Well, I think you're still. Are you still reading The Return of Sherlock Holmes?
No, I started the book already.
Oh.
I'm like
Then
on
why
chapter
is it
4.
still on there?
Because I finished it this week.
Oh.
I finished it after last week's podcast.
Well then, she's reading The Valley of Fear by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and I finished it, and I'm writing a book report on it.
Yes. And that's in our continuing reading through all of the Sherlock books.
Yeah.
I mentioned this book last week, but I'll mention it again because it's so amazing. This is called Bread and Wine, A Love Letter to Life Around the Table with Recipes by Shauna Nyquist. And I am purposefully taking a long time to read it and only reading one essay a night because I love it so much and I just want to soak it in. It's amazing. It's been so good. Love it. It's essays about her community and living life around the table, but also recipes, and it's so good. She's written 2 other books, too, that are awesome. Okay, and then I finished reading Heartless, which is by Anne Elizabeth Stengel, which is Tales of the Goldstone Wood, book number 1, and I started book number 2, which is called Veiled Rose. And these are kind of fantasy princesses and princes and dragons and everything, because Sundays E920 Angie sent us book number 4, and I already had book number 1, and I bought book number 2 and 3. They were on sale last week on the Kindle, so I'm reading through the series. Okay, here we go with TV. We'll try to make it as brief as possible, but there was a lot, and some of the episodes were like screaming at the TV, so bear with us. Let's start with Psych.
Okay, Psych 7.8, right turn or left for dead. Okay, because I think I just blew my own mind. Don't eat the biscotti.
Because it had gold dust in it, and it made Gus, blow up.
Little Lassie.
The little puppy. Oh my gosh, that was adorable, and I don't even like dogs. And little Lassie was adorable.
Okay, you wrote these.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this was a back and forth episode between...
I spelled Juliet wrong. I was fixing it.
Sorry. Now it's even more wrong. This was a back and forth episode between what could have happened and what actually happened after the bombshell at the end of the previous episode where Juliet found out that Sean was lying about being psychic. I did not like how they tricked us towards the end that Sean and Juliet's relationship was going to be okay, and then it wasn't. Screamed at the TV, was not happy. Don't do that. That's ugly. Are you listening, psych people? Don't do that. Next episode is tonight. Episode 7.9.
Juliet wears the pantsuit.
Yes. So, we will watch that tonight. Alright, next up is Once Upon a Time, episode 2.19, Lacey. Here was another scream at the TV. This has been a theme this week. I've screamed at the TV a lot, and it was not making me happy. I think it's because May Sweeps is coming up, and so they're doing all this crap to try to, and it makes me unhappy, and I cry, and I scream, and it's not pretty. So, at the beginning of the episode, Gold killed Henry, but it was in a dream. That was not cool. Did not like that. Don't do that to us. And Regina just keeps getting more and more evil. I don't like her. She needs to stop. So here are my 2 questions. Will going back to Fairy Tale Land really give them all that happily ever after that they want? I don't think it will. What about you? Do you think it will? I don't think so. And my other question is, will Gold changing to try to win Belle back really change him at all? Because it seems to me that he's just putting on a facade to try to win her back, and then he's going to go back to his evil, normal self. Grr. Next episode, episode 2.20 on April 28th, that's a Sunday, called The Evil Queen. Defiance, episode 1.2, Down in the Ground Where the Dead Men Go. That's a song lyric. I'm loving this show more and more. It's feeling even more Firefly-ish. Yes?
Yes.
So if you love Firefly, this is a really good show, and it's only had 2 episodes so far, so you can catch up. I struggled with watching the cleansing ceremony where they were actually just torturing this guy because they thought he was a coward because he ran away when there was a fight, when there was the gun battle and everything. And they were trying to talk about it in the way of we're respecting each other's beliefs, but it kind of creeped me out. But I thought it was really interesting to see what they were talking about, because the premise, as we talked about last week, is that these aliens came and terraformed the planet. Well, apparently when they terraformed the planet, old St. Louis, like, got put under the crust and a new crust formed over it. And so they're, like, climbing down, and old St. Louis and all these buildings and everything are still...
I just went, it makes me feel a thing, but I don't know what it is.
I mean, it was really interesting to look at all that and be like, okay, all these years later, all these buildings are still standing, and the playground equipment and all this. It was really interesting. We figured out another connection. The character Stama Tar, who is one of the aliens, she's the wife of the head alien guy in Defiance. Daytak, that's his name. She played H.G. Wells in Warehouse 13, which coincidentally will be back this coming Monday night. If you love Warehouse 13, it's coming back Monday night. She's very conniving. I'm interested to see where they're going to go with her character, because she is conniving towards her husband, towards her son, towards the son's fiance, towards just everybody. But I'm really interested to see her character develop. Rafe being forced to choose between doing the right thing to avenge his child's death, or doing the right thing for his living children. That was, like, powerful. And then Ben, the bad guy, took the choice out of his hands and killed himself with Rafe's gun. And then at the end, we see Rafe finding all this stuff in his son's, Luke's, room after he died. And it's like this artifact and money and maps and everything. So he probably was really a bad guy, and Rafe just doesn't want to believe it. And at the end, it was such a powerful use of... I'm not sure who they had do it, but it was a cover of Nirvana's song, Come As You Are, in the last few minutes of the episode, and it was just really powerful. Next episode is Monday night the 29th, episode 1.3, A Well-Respected Man. And like we said, if you love Firefly, check this show out, because it is really feeling very Firefly-ish. Revolution. Episode 1.14, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, which is the episode that was supposed to air last week and got pushed back because of what happened in Boston. I totally was like, what the heck with that device that the character Jane had in her hand, and she used it to kill the soldiers, and she threatened Rachel with it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Because it just, like, burned them, and it was crazy. Oh my goodness. We got some major news in the fact that the nanites, when they were turned on, which made the power turn off, it was what was keeping Rachel's son Danny alive, and then, of course, he got shot and died. But so he was very sick, and we knew that. But also, this new character that we met, Jane, her partner Beth, has been in stage 4 cancer for, what was it, like 14 years now? 16 years now, and these nanites are keeping her alive. And so there was a real debate there of, if we turn the power back on, Beth is going to die, and Jane didn't want to lose Beth. And so, but also Rachel was talking about, if she had it to do all over again, would she do it to save her son? That was really powerful. Miles killed Alec, which was like, he was like his mentor to Alec, to keep the people of Georgia safe from the atomic bomb that Monroe was trying to use on the people of Georgia. And then at the very last, when the president of Georgia gave men to Miles to attack Monroe, and she says, what do you say, Miles? Are you ready to be a general again? So, it will be interesting to see what happens as Miles and Monroe do get out again after being friends once. I believe that the next episode is going to be Monday night the 29th, episode 1.15, Home is what it's called. Because of the getting an episode pushed back, it may have changed things. I'm not sure, but that's, last I checked, that's what's supposed to happen. Okay, NCIS, episode 10.21, Berlin. Okay. I screamed at the TV last night and today, too.
You spelled Troy wrong.
Yes, I did. What I was writing was that Mariana Sirtis, who was Deanna Troi from Star Trek The Next Generation, was in this episode. She played kind of a bad lady. She was conniving. But it was fun to see her. Totally cracked up at McGee trying to be stealthy and look over his shoulder, and he's like, oh, and gives this like, can you be any more obvious? It was really funny. Loved Abby making Berlin in her lab, and she had the pot holder that was a skeleton. Hysterical. So funny. And then this episode was totally about Tony and Ziva and their relationship. So I have like all these notes about him calling her sweet cheeks and her hanging his clothes up in Berlin in the hotel room and them lying in bed together talking and dancing together and looking into each other's eyes. And then Ziva has this flashback to when she was dancing with her dad, and her dad said to her, one day you will dance with a man who deserves your love. And then it goes back to Tony, and they're looking into each other's eyes, and there's love, and oh my gosh, and they're smiling at each other. And then the last 30 seconds happen. They're holding hands in the car, Tony and Ziva, and she's about to tell him something, and then you see the car coming, and crash! And I screamed and yelled at the TV. It was not pretty. I was very upset, and my really good friend Jamie, who is also a huge NCIS fan, were like twittering to each other and being like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? They can't do this, and they can't kill off another main character, and Tony already lost Kate, and he can't lose Ziva. And then she tells me that she's done all this research, and Cote de Pablo, who plays Ziva, is the only main character who has not had her contract renewed yet.
I apologize.
I'm so upset about this. And there's only 3 new episodes this season. And next episode is 10.22 Revenge, which is next week.
I don't think she's dead.
They better not kill Ziva.
Let's talk about another thing.
This made me so upset. I cried and screamed, and last night, and fast-forwarding and rewinding, and then watched it again today, and fast-forwarding and rewinding, and and then we see the car coming, and I'm just like, oh no. I thought it could have changed since last night, because that totally happened, because I recorded it, and so it was totally going to change and be something different today. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Another thing. Wait, is there anything after Doctor Who?
No, Doctor Who's the last one.
Oh, okay. Scroll. Keep scrolling. Okay. Doctor Who! Yay.
Were you scared? I was so scared. I was like hiding behind my knitting, and okay, go ahead.
Nothing scares me since Blink.
You didn't tell him what episode this was.
I know I was responding to what you said.
Oh.
Okay, Doctor Who 7.10, hide.
And I did. I like hid behind my knitting and was like, is it over?
Nothing scares me since Blink.
This scared me because there was ghosts, and I don't like ghosts.
Although it wasn't really a ghost.
I know, but it's still, I thought it was a ghost, and it scared me.
Yay. Clara, she has her red satchel, which we saw in the Rings of Akaton, and a red umbrella.
So the red theme continues.
She doesn't have her wings necklace, or angel, or whatever it is.
Yep, and she didn't have it last episode either. So
she just had a little circle thing. Simple.
That was cute.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Every lonely monster needs a companion. No.
Every lonely monster needs a companion. Okay, and can I just say, I don't know if you put this, that what was her name? The psychic?
Emma Grayling. Yes, she's Jessica Rain.
From Call the Midwife, which is like another one of my favorite shows. And she was so good in this. I loved it. Go ahead.
Okay, she asked right here.
I asked something.
She asked if Emma was picking up twice the loneliness because of Hilla and the monster, the Crooked Man. That's what it's called. Yeah,
because she was, when she was like having a psychic reading kind of vision, she was like, oh, so lonely, and so I was wondering if it was so strong for her because she was picking up on the fact that Hilla was alone, but also that the monster was alone and was lonely, so.
And you are Ghostbusters.
When the doctor kind of jumped out from behind the door.
Boo! I'm the doctor. Doctor what, if you like.
I love
it when people refuse to do the thing.
I love when they make puns like that.
Okay. Okay. The doctor said that Professor Alec Palmer was part of the Baker Street Irregulars. But according to a thing that someone wrote about the episode, Baker Street Irregulars was a code name for some people who did secret operations and stuff.
In the war?
Mm-hmm.
But still.
Yeah.
Baker Street Irregulars?
Okay.
TV was really powerful for me this week. Can you tell at all?
Shh.
Okay, go ahead. I'm here.
Okay. And the music room was the front room of the Diogenes Club.
I'm Sherlock!
Seriously, they only have like 5 sets.
And they just keep using them over and over in every show.
Okay, so in this episode, Clara said, "Is she real?" as in actually real. And in Asylum of the Daleks, Oswald said, "Are you real?" as in actually properly real.
See, it's all connecting back.
Okay, I'm giving you a face. Can you see me? Look at my face. Okay, dare you. No takesy backsies. I'm just gonna cry.
No takesy backsies. Because, Clara was scared to go with the doctor down the hall where the ghost was.
Yes, Doctor. The ghost is under the table. And in the tea kettle.
Of course, that's where ghosts hide.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a genie in a lamp. Why can't there be a ghost in a tea kettle?
Okay, my dad said this, and she said we had to put it in here. This week, they went to the heart of the house. Next week, they're going to the heart of the TARDIS. Okay. And I wrote this in all caps, because where did he get the chalk?
From his pocket.
And the balloons! Who just keeps balloons on their person?
The doctor.
Okay, and I'll talk about the color of the balloons later.
Yes, I know. I saw it. Because we have connections.
Doctor, maybe a teeny tiny bit terrified, but I'm still a grown-up. Mainly, yes, there's no need to actually hold my hand.
He wasn't holding her hand!
No, but it was like, because Clara thought the doctor would actually hold her hand, and he would actually hold her hand.
Yes, he would, because he is such a kind and gentle man. And a big kid at heart.
I mean, he's such a dork, I just want to keep him.
I'll hug him and love him and call him George.
No, Doctor.
And maybe that's what the doctor's name is.
No, the doctor's name is not George!
Because, okay, this is big spoiler! They announced that in the series finale for this series, not for, the series is ending, but, in the UK...
BBC learned their lesson when they did that.
In the UK, it's called series, not seasons. So, when this series ends, this is series 7, part 2, the last episode is going to be where we're going to find out the doctor's name, and so I told Damaris that maybe his name is George, and we'll hug him and love him and call him George. From Looney Tunes, do you remember that, or am I just really dating myself? I could, scroll for you if you would like me to.
No. Okay, there we go. Okay, after reading the Doctor Who boards today, we had that the Doctor drew the circle for one reason already. Then after reading the Doctor Who boards today, I saw that he drew it for another reason.
Okay.
The Doctor drew the circle to allow the portal to become invisible, but also so he could take the TARDIS to that spot always.
Oh, you gotta love us. Or gotta hate us, one of the two. No in between.
Whiskey is the 11th most disgusting thing ever invented.
That was funny.
11th. Okay. Because it's obvious. It sticks out like a big chin. That was a verbal keyboard smash. Okay. And Emma said, "Don't trust him. There's a sliver of ice in his heart." And in The Angels Take Manhattan, while the Doctor was reading Melody Malone, it said she's got ice in her heart.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Connections.
The TARDIS is like a cat. I don't think she appreciates that, Doctor. I'm just having lots of TARDIS feelings.
The TARDIS was like a main character in this week's episode.
She's always a main character.
Well, I know, but even more, because she, was letting her feelings be known about Clara.
She's like, She's not gonna have any of your crap today. Okay. What do you think? Well, the Doctor had his spacesuit thing. We haven't seen the spacesuit since the waters of Mars. Okay. What do you think? Color's a bit boisterous. I think it brings out my eyes. Makes my eyes hurt. And then he pouts. Okay. Well, don't press any buttons or pull any levers or make funny faces.
Because if you make funny faces at the TARDIS, you just don't know what might happen.
You don't know. What's wrong? Did the TARDIS say something to you? Are you being mean?
TARDIS, it's not nice to be mean to Clara.
You have to be nice.
Be nice.
Okay, is my body out there somewhere in the ground? And that was supposed to be a serious line, but she said yes at least 2 times.
Okay, so this is like when they go like way into the future. And so the Earth has been destroyed, or like, you know, and there's like fires and everything. And Clara's like emotional because she's realizing that that all the companions are just like a moment in time for the Doctor, because he's just got so much time and everything. And so that's when she asks, "Am I buried out there in the ground somewhere?" And yes, at least twice. We already have seen that happen.
The Doctor said to Clara, "You are the..." Well, referencing all of his companions, I think you are the only mystery worth solving. I am just...
That was precious. Because she is a mystery, and we're trying to solve it.
Okay. Everything ends. No, not everything. Not love. Not always.
Oh.
Why must you hurt me in this way? Okay. And when the Doctor had the balloons while trying to explain pocket universes?
Yes.
Okay. He had a blue balloon and a red balloon. And he blew them up, and he had them coming together. And she thinks the blue balloon is supposed to symbolize the TARDIS and the Doctor. The red balloon is supposed to symbolize Clara.
Because they're coming together, and what is going to happen with these two things, especially with such the mystery of Clara trying to come together with the Doctor and the TARDIS. Okay. Is something going to pop? Like a balloon?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
Okay. Then he said Geronimo!
Geronimo!
Because, And Cloister Bell. I always get excited when we hear the Cloister Bell, even though the Cloister Bell is a bad thing.
Yes. Okay, what else?
And the TARDIS voice interface! I just have lots of feelings about the TARDIS. We last saw the TARDIS voice interface in Let's Kill Hitler.
And now Clara is the TARDIS voice interface.
You're talking, but all I can hear is That
was funny. That was really funny. When she's talking about that the TARDIS is using her voice as the new voice.
Okay, and Emma's headpiece that she was using, it was gold and it had little bumps on it, and in the middle, like right here, was a blue circle sort of thing, and it kind of reminded me of a Dalek.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. And 11 pull of Jack Harkness. We're still not over that. That was 4 series ago.
Explain for people who don't understand.
Okay. They were at they were in Cardiff. And Jack was trying to get towards the TARDIS. But the TARDIS started materializing away. So Jack grabbed onto the sides of the TARDIS and held on to it.
Yes.
Tightly. Therefore, the TARDIS went to the end of the universe.
Yes. And so, the Doctor grabbed onto the TARDIS.
Yes. The TARDIS is okay when her Doctor does it, but not when Jack does it.
No. And, it seems like we're going to see that happen again soon.
See what happened?
The Doctor grabbing onto the TARDIS.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Later this year.
While, the Doctor asked Emma, Clara, what is she? And she just said she's a girl. She's a perfectly ordinary girl. What are you talking about?
Maybe this manifestation is.
Okay. Next week, swimming pool and TARDIS exploring, and now, yeah.
And so the TARDIS is going to be an even bigger character in next week's episode when we journey to the center of the TARDIS. Bum, bum, bum!
Yay. I wonder if the library is still in this. I wonder if the swimming pool is still in the library.
I don't know.
Because we saw the swimming pool, but we can't see
it seems like this is going to be a very...
awesome!
Yes, awesome, but I think we're going to find out a lot about Clara and who she is as a person as she deals with being lost in the TARDIS. So, that's the next week's episode. And that is all our TV for this week. I warned you, I told you that I screamed at the TV all week. It was not pretty. Be nice.
The TARDIS is like, a cat!
TV people, you need to be nice to your viewers. Don't make me scream at you. It's not fun, and it makes me cry. Okay, on to the next segment. Alright, we are almost to the end of our April UFO Cal. Almost. This started on April 1st, and the rule was your project had to have been started by midnight on March 31st, and you must complete it by April 30th, which is next Tuesday. Which means we will close the thread where you're posting your finished pictures before we record next Wednesday, May the 1st. So you need to have your pictures posted no later than that morning, because we'll probably close it around lunchtime our time, which we're in the Central Time Zone in the U.S. right now. Not for long. So make sure and get your pictures posted in that thread, because we will choose winner or winners next week. So, we had some people finish projects this week, and share those in the thread. Princess Bumps, who is Victoria, finished her I Heart Lace Shawl. Iggy Star, who is Vicky, finished her Slouch Beret. Wisconsin Knitter, who is Eileen, finished her Socks on a Plane. I love that pattern. That's so cool. Knit and Wolf, Dawn, finished her Color Affection. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. She showed it on their podcast this week. I think she has me convinced to make one, and I'm thinking about doing it in pink and gray and cream. Wouldn't that be pretty? Okay. Phoenix Fire, who is Tracy, actually finished 2 projects this week. She finished the Lady Suffragette Ponchette, which I believe was for her daughter. Yeah, and her daughter modeled it for the picture, and it's adorable. And she finished her Eye Candy Socks. And Knit Kimber Knit, who is Kimber, finished 2 projects as well. She finished her A Doctor for You and A Doctor for Me socks. Yes, that doctor. And her Robotic Monkey Socks. Way to go, everybody. Great job. Like we said, make sure and get your picture posted by next Wednesday morning, because we will choose winner or winners, depending on how many entries we had, in next week's episode. We made it to the end of the episode. Almost. We still have a lot to tell you. Okay. So, the Geeky Girls Knit Virtual Knitting Nights VKNs are going really well. And we have kind of gotten to a good schedule that I think is working. So, the next VKN will be this Friday night, the 26th, at 6 p.m. Central Time. And then next week on Tuesday afternoon, the 30th, at 1 p.m. Central Time, we'll have another one. Watch on Plurk, Twitter, Ravelry, Facebook for the link. We do them through Google Hangouts, Google Plus Hangouts, so you have to have a Google account. And headphones help a lot because it keeps things from echoing. So we hope to see you Friday night or Tuesday afternoon. Next up, our next cow. Are you excited? You want to know what it is? It's a geeky cow. Yes.
Honestly, this should have been our first one.
It should have been, but I was not ready to knit my geeky item yet. And, you know, we base these cows around me, obviously. So, it will start May the 1st, Wednesday, May the 1st, and end Friday, May 31st. Do we want to do like we did with the UFO, that as long as it can have started beforehand, but as long as it's done by May 31st? Sure. Okay. So, even if you have
we are very organized.
Even if you have a project in progress, as long as you work on it in May and finish it by May 31st, so don't have knitted something in April and finished it and then try to enter it in the May cal. That's not cool. But you can have started it as long as you work on it and finish it in May. The rule for what you knit or crochet or weave or whatever, any of the Ravelry things we allow, it can be for any fandom, TV show, movie, book, video game, etc. If you can convince Damaris and I that it is geeky related, then it will count.
Also, may I include webcomic?
Oh, yeah.
Because webcomics are becoming bigger fandoms.
Yeah. So, if you have a question and you're not sure if it fits, send us a message or post it in the chat or thread or whatever, and we'll talk about it. Because as long as you can convince us it's geeky. Do you want to know what I'm doing?
No, it's a secret.
Can I tell them it's Doctor Who related?
Well, you just did.
It's Doctor Who related. And it's not even for me. It's a gift. And Damaris is working on her Sherlock sweater.
Still.
But will this motivate you to finish by the end of May?
I don't think I will be able to finish it by the end of May.
No, but you are going to make significant progress. Because we don't count for the prizes anyway. But
I'm going to try to finish both sleeves.
Geeky Cal in May. Look for more details on the Ravelry group.
Do I try?
Okay, announcement. Christy Ray, who is one of our viewers, on Plurk and Ravelry, her username is Christy Ray, CRISTYRAY, and we'll put her email address in the show notes and everything. She sent us a message and asked if we would announce this. On June 8th and 9th, she is the superintendent for the children's tent at the Estes Park Wool Market. And she took over this position last year and is working to create hands-on activities to introduce kids to the wonderful world of fiber. So she is looking for donations of fiber and yarns for the demonstrations and the take-home crafting activities. If you have some old acrylic or old wool or whatever leftovers that you're not going to use, or stuff that's in your stash that you're not going to use, she's asking if you would box it up and send it to her for the children's tent. Damaris and I put together a box last night that we are going to get sent out to her as we are cleaning through our stash, trying to get ready for Scotland. So if you have stuff, look in the show notes, because I'm going to put her Ravelry/Plurk username and also her email address, so you can contact her to get her address. The wool market is on June 8th and 9th, so I'm thinking she probably needs the stuff by the end of May. So, and maybe you and a group of friends can pull together all your stuff and work and put together in one box and ship it to her or whatever. That would be great. So, and I know she'd appreciate it. I just talked to her this morning about it again, and so if you have stuff, she would definitely appreciate it. Another announcement. Dragonfly7673, who is Vicky, she's the host of the Dragonfly Soars podcast. And she is doing a fundraiser to raise funds for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's Great Strides Walk in Madison, WI, is that Wisconsin?
Probably.
I think so. And the reason that she's interested in this is her son has a friend whose sister has cystic fibrosis. And her son has bragged on how supportive knitters are. And so she is doing a fundraiser, and there's prizes. So if you donate and let Vicky know, she will include you in the prize drawing. And we will put a link in the show notes for where to go for more information and where to donate. And 2 of the prizes are from me. So you could win something that I donated. So check that out. Any donation helps, and I know they are very appreciative. I got an email from the mother of her son's friend thanking me for donating, and so I know they would appreciate anything you can send. Tell them where to find us.
Everywhere. We have our blog, our website is geekygirlsknit.blogspot.com. And there you will find links to YouTube and Blip TV and Twitter and Facebook and etc.
Yes.
iTunes, whatever.
And it's also at the end of the episode here. It's got a list of everything. So, but if you miss it, just go to our website, geekygirlsknit.blogspot.com. Oh my gosh, I think we're at an hour. We gotta go. Sorry that we're long, but there was so much TV! We'll see you next week. Love you. Happy knitting. Peace. Damaris is trying to hold me down because all the excitement is just coming out of me. Bye! Tell them bye.
Bye.